Recently, southeast Queensland went back into lockdown. With school now online, I thought it would be a great opportunity to look at some ants in my backyard. I began my search by turning over any stones and rocks that I could find in my backyard. The weather was quite windy, so I didn't really expect to see many things crawling out and about. All I've really found so far has been these little isopods and what seems to be maybe a little baby centipede. I've always been fascinated about the little crevices made between the edges of rocks, and I always think that there should be some little ants or critters living inside. Or perhaps the little bugs go back there at night time to sleep. After some time, I finally stumbled upon an ant nest. There weren't many ants on the surface, so I went upstairs and prepared a little sheet of honey to try and draw them out. While I waited for the workers to discover the honey, I decided to have a look at some neighbouring colonies. I came back 5 minutes later, and there was already a worker digging in on the honey. After discovering the honey and getting some for herself, she decided to go off and let the rest of the colony know. Although these ants are pretty slow, it wasn't long before they all gathered around the honey. Here you can also see a major ant also drinking up some of the honey. From this, I can pretty confidently say that these ants are most likely a species of Pheidole, due to their majors and minor workers. And actually, these majors double up as repletes, which means that they'll go off and drink some of the honey and get really full, and their abdomens will expand, and when they go back to the nest, they'll be used as live, big storage tanks for honey whenever the colony needs it. What I really like about these ants in particular is how slow and sort of relaxed they are. In fact, they've sort of set the pacing for this video. You can see here that a stick has actually fallen on top of them, and they generally don't actually really care that much. What I find so amazing is that these 3 little colonies are within 15 centimeters of each other, and we've been able to watch this tiny little environment interact as they normally would each and every day. Now, the story doesn't end there. While I was filming those time lapses of the Fidole, I actually found myself a queen ant. I was lifting up some more rocks, and there she was scurrying around. I quickly put her into a test tube, and here she is. As of now, I'm not actually sure of the species. If you guys have any idea of what the species of this queen could be, let me know in the comment section down below. To give this queen the best chance at survival, I'll be making her a test tube setup. This provides perfect conditions for the queen to lay eggs and raise her young. Though I haven't actually kept ants in quite a while. That's because I've been focusing more on schoolwork recently. So, I'll be using one of these old test tubes. Firstly, I had to remove the cotton that was stuck inside. You can easily use tweezers, or even a roughened end of some chopsticks, or skewers. The next step was to fill up the test tube with some fresh water, and then make the claustral chamber with pieces of cotton. I like to wet my cotton when I put it in. If you do this step properly, you'll eliminate any air bubbles left inside the test tube. This creates a vacuum in the water section of the test tube, and as the colony grows and drinks more water, the cotton is sucked further down the end of the test tube, ultimately expanding the size of the nest. Though I kind of messed it up, and I think there was still an air bubble in my test tube setup. However, this should be fine since the queen and presumably her workers will be pretty damn small. All that's left to do now is to move the queen ant into a brand new home. This is usually easier said than done. Sometimes I like to tap the queen out onto the ground, and then using the new test tube, place it on top and let her climb up the walls. This is one of the most satisfying parts of catching queen ants. And there we have it. This queen is now ready to start her own colony. On the right, she has her drinking cotton, and to the left is the cotton that allows airflow. Because of the lockdown and school going online, I had a lot more time on my hands, so I decided to go out into my backyard and try to look at the different ants that I could find. Along the way we found some small little bugs and critters, and we finally found some really cool Fidole. I recently got a new camera, so I'm still sort of getting the hang of it, though some of this footage is looking pretty good so far. I'm also very excited for the future, and to be completely honest, very excited that I'm finishing high school quite soon. After that, I might try my luck in Brisbane and maybe make some really cool ant documentaries, maybe on some Myrmecia. As well as that, I plan on going to Melbourne sometime, probably when there's no lockdown. Until then, I'll be making more videos and content for you guys. I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video, commented and subscribed. As always, thanks for watching guys. Ant Invasion, out.